Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I had every intention of shooting a video about a couple of other things actually. Cleaning the valve covers on the 6.3. I posted a few pictures on my Facebook group on the Mercedes maintenance. Wanted to do that, and also I'm setting up, and I still might shoot the rest today, of setting the bearing races back in the differential housing. But while I was fishing around outside in the shed, I found an old air compressor from a W109, and I fished it out and I thought, let's have a look at this for 5 minutes. It's kind of miserably rainy outside, and I was curious. So anyway, I of course got into it and wanted to learn on an old one that you know, didn't really matter much if it was broken or shot or whatever. So I wanted to learn how it went together, and so it'll give me some tips for when I do mine on my 6.3. So anyway, turns out it wasn't actually in that bad a condition. So let me show you what I found out and what I've learned, and because I've never taken one apart before, but it was very logically put together, and I think that if you need to service yours, buy a few parts and stuff, you know, new piston, connecting rod, all that kind of stuff, it's pretty straightforward to get in there and do it yourself, I think. Anyway, so let me show you what I've found out, and I do have another one sitting off to the side, again a spare one, that I'm going to see if I can take apart on camera and show you the process. So let's get closer. As I say, first of all, when I first pulled this out of the shed, I thought it was seized, but of course these are connected to the steering pump here, and it's this that's seized. So basically I separated it with these two Allen bolts. Okay, I did gently heat the aluminium a little bit just to help make sure nothing's sheared off, but it's this guy that's seized. And so once I separated, this actual little compressor turned quite easily. So first of all I separated it, then took the top off. Okay, four little well, it'd be nuts, wouldn't it? Or no, bolts they were, 4 little bolts holding those on. Okay, that came off pretty easy. There was a build-up of moisture, you know, kind of white gummy stuff where moisture had got inside, you know, probably because someone had neglected to drain the system and do the denatured alcohol thing. But that's in pretty decent shape. These could be cleaned up, replated or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to clean these out, you know, probably leave these to soak or something. So that's that. The actual barrel had some minor corrosion, you know, that white stuff again, but no real like pitting or anything like that. So the barrel seemed to be in really nice shape. Piston, again, not bad shape. This ring here does seem to have fused into the groove there, so maybe this piston ring or all the rings, you know, could do with replacing. Actually, there's 3 at the top and there's a scraper ring down below. Yeah, these ones at the top, oh yeah, no, they're moving, just a bit gummed up actually, so they're moving okay. There seems to be there's another one in the middle there that, with a little bit of persuasion, I think I can get that running. But no cracking on the piston. Looks to be in pretty good shape. Tiny little bit of discoloration there, but I don't think that's anything to worry about. Now, oh, and obviously the crank. Now, I'll go over quickly how I took it apart, and then I'll try it on that other one. That might not work, that might be completely shot, that one, I don't know. But so that's kind of the long and the short of it. There is this little piece that connects the two. That goes on there when it's inside the casing, and then the steering pump locks on with another one crisscross there. Very simple little coupler there. So that is it. The actual casing looks to be in good condition, no cracks, just filthy. So let me show you on the other one how I got it all apart, and then it will make sense. It's pretty straightforward actually. So let's clear the decks and get that other one. Where's the other one? Sad looking thing really. This doesn't have a top on it, so this is This, I don't hold as much hope for this one because this has been exposed. So, you know, obviously top goes like that on here, but this one didn't have a top. It was just literally sitting in the weeds, you know. So this is purely for learning experience really, and see what kind of damage is. I'm going to separate this and see. I'm pretty sure this has seized because of all this, but you never know. Maybe with a little mallet and a bit of wood we can free it up. So first of all, we'll separate the Allen bolts here. Let's clamp this to the bench, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, first off, yeah, I clamped it to the bench here. I'm going to, out of the way, I'm going to heat up the aluminium here just to expand it and give this a few wraps and that so we don't shear anything. Don't go mad with it, just heat it up a little bit. Alright, let's try that. Like I say, I'm kind of careful, you don't want to mess anything up. Where's mine? Give that a few wraps just to try and break free any corrosion, and just gently bring up the old pressure. That's got it. Be interested to see. I'm sure this thing is seized just like the other one, but unfortunately because that piston has been exposed, I think this is probably beyond help. But we'll have a look at the rest of it. Okay, just did the other one. Got a mallet around here somewhere, little rubber mallet. Maybe we can separate these guys. Shame these were left out in the weather, you know. Whoops. Okay, there's that coupler, you see, that just goes on here, and obviously the pump's seized, so that goes on there like that and corresponds with the one on here. So that's all pretty straightforward, but yeah, that ain't going anywhere. So maybe in a later time I'll see what we can do looking inside one of these things. But anyway, that's that. And yeah, this is obviously seized. Oh no, oh look at that. Luck would have it, that piston, even though it was fully exposed to the weather, is moving. So that's cool. So let's have a look inside and see what we discover. Even though this was completely exposed to the weather, that is moving. It was the steering pump that was giving its problem. So let's clear the decks again, and I'll show you how to get inside one of these and examine all the parts. Again, I'd like to reiterate, I've never done this before, and I just want to show you what I found out in the short time I split that other spare one apart. But might help someone if they need to replace piston, connecting rod, all that stuff. So first things first, on this one, someone had already taken these 3 bolts out, but that's all pretty straightforward. So, and obviously there's no top. So first of all, we've got to break these little nuts on here, and on the other one they came adrift pretty easily. Maybe we'll introduce a little bit of heat as well. No, they're coming off. Not very tight actually. Get a bit of WD-40 on there just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that helped. Just a little squirt of WD-40. Get these 4 off. Gives this a few wraps with the old rubber mallet. Oh, hardly need to. Look at that. Well, on first inspection, the barrel seems to be. See if you can get in here. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a bit better. You can see there's a little light corrosion in there, but It doesn't look like there's any pitting, so that in actual fact looks just as good as the other one. Anyway, okay, now to get the crank out, obviously we've got to take the piston off. Now if you look very carefully inside the connecting pin here, you'll see a couple of little circlips, you know, so those circlips need removing, and then you can knock the pin out. So it's a little tricky. So they're tiny little holes inside the circlip, just inside the ends here, so I can't get in too close to the camera and do this, so trust me, they're in there. There you go. Right, one of those guys out that way, turn it over, get the other one out. Very easy. So then what I like to do, so you don't strain the connecting pin, the connecting rod, I'm just going to rest this on that mallet there, you see, so you're not hitting that way round, so you're just not stressing anything, right? And then I just got a little punch, just a little punch, and then gently knock the pin out. Okay, so piston comes off, clean that guy up, clean the piston up. Again, looks to be in quite nice shape really. I mean, sitting out in the woods, you know, for heaven knows how long, just sitting on the ground. You know, this looks completely fine to me. I mean, I'll loosen those rings up, maybe remove them and clean it, clean the top here, but that looks completely fine to me. But anyway, any of you guys in the know, let me know what I should be looking for. So that's the piston. Now obviously to get the crank out, right, you've got to pull it out, but how are you going to get that out of there, right? So these nuts have already been removed, okay? So if you look carefully on this side, the steering pump side, you'll see another little circlip. Okay, I think you can see at the bottom of the crank there's another little clip, so you have to undo that one, right, and that gets spread apart, that one, out of a little channel. So take that one out, or release it I should say, so get it out of the groove. I'll show you how to do that. Oh, here they are. Okay, I was looking for these ones. Okay, I couldn't find my proper angle ones because this is on a 90 there. It's easier to get these ones in. So you hook it in there, hook it in the holes. Okay, so that was a little tricky to get in there. You've got to hook them in, and then obviously right together you've got to spread that clip, but I've got that off. So the clip comes off, right, and slide it down the crank somewhat, and then lo and behold the crank is able to slide on the big end a little bit, and then you can unhook it like so. Get in focus. So then you can unhook it, you see. So just close up, there's the crank on the big end, and that's the clip that was just giving me a little bit of problems there. So again, all of this seems to be in good shape. Maybe there's a seal around here somewhere. Well, that's a placeable seal possibly on there, keep the oil in. And now it's been a little while since I took mine off of my 6.3. Or is it coming through the base? Actually, I think it comes through the base here, through the pedestal. Okay, that's what I do believe. That comes through on the pedestal. This is adjustable, but on the receiving pedestal, that's getting fed with oil from the engine. And then Merkman, Ron in Australia, was telling us, I watched his video some time ago, you should check his videos out on YouTube. There is a washer, right, or a rubber ring that runs on the pedestal, and you want the ones that are round but square, do you know what I mean, the square but not the ring, so the whole thing, when it slides, creates, gives a better seal from my understanding, what Ron was saying. So again, this body seems in good shape. On this side, on the pump side, there's a little spacer here that just sits on there. I'm kind of making this video for me as well as you guys, because then when I go to do mine, I'll remember how it's done, won't I? Get that out of there. So that's just another little ring that sits on there. So there you have it, guys. So there's your body. I'm going to clean both these units up today, get these all spiffy looking, and I think these are completely serviceable, even though the poor things have been left out for how many years, I don't know. As you can see, the crank could be removed and quite easily replaced if you had to replace your crank, you know. I mean, not your crank, your connecting rod. Let's get that right off there. Right. Then there's another ring there, a thinner one, and then your crank. And then an oiler hole here. And then there's a channel running around the big end of this little crank here. Marvellously made, really, isn't it? It's lovely. Looks like a bronze bushing up at the top here. That could be a wear item, I guess. So you could have another one pressed in there, you know, as a service. And whatever that ring looks like, that's removable as well. Let us know. I'm assuming it is pressed in there. So that could be something that would be serviced, you know. Yes, there is a ring seal round here by the looks of it, and that is about it, guys, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed this sort of video, impromptu really. These two compressors that I had just lying around in the shed. So that is it, I think, today. I'm going to get on with filming the other videos that I intended to do today. This is completely a diversion, but looks like we've got two quite serviceable compressors here, and I've obviously got the third one that came off my car. The steering pumps are a different story. Maybe I'll attempt those in a different video. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little video. As you can see, it's not rocket science to take them apart and to ascertain what you need and rebuild them, because I don't think if you send these off to be rebuilt, I think it's quite an expense, you know. But it's something, I took two of these apart in no time at all, and I think with a little careful approach you could certainly rebuild your own. There goes the phone. One other thing before I go, doing this little job really again reiterated to me how wonderful these cars are. This sort of little unit like there is completely rebuildable and serviceable for another few decades, you know. I mean, and as long as it's maintained during its running, you know, make sure the alcohol container is full when you drain that storage tank on a regular basis, just like a regular air compressor really. You got builds up moisture because of heat and cold and all that stuff. It's going to build up moisture and then it's going to find its way inside to the piston, isn't it? So making sure you regularly drain that tank, keep the alcohol container full. Little side note here, I sent my valves and alcohol container to Klaus in Australia for rebuild, done a beautiful job, and he was telling me a lot of the Australians don't use the denatured alcohol in certain regions of Australia because it's so dry there. Let me know, you guys down under, if that's true. It makes sense to me. But anyway, us in the more moist climates, you're going to have to do that. So again though, marvellously put together, everything seems to be completely serviceable, and there you go. That's why we drive Mercs, isn't it? Mercedes, sorry. Okay, that's about it for today, guys. It wasn't a video I was expecting to shoot today, but like I say, rummaging around in the shed, I saw them and I thought, well, why not? Let's have a look, see what kind of condition they're in, and I'm really happy the way they both seem to have stood up very well for being left out in the woods for however many years, I don't know. So maybe I'll shoot a video of rebuilding one of these and getting all the casing nice and clean and checking all the bearings and all the parts, but to me they don't look in bad shape. I'd love to hear from anyone that really knows, because I don't. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, appreciate it, and stay tuned for another one. Alright, take care, bye bye.